Time to talk about My Hero Academia Chapter 302 review/discussion. So let's get started. Let's hit the intro because there's so much to discuss. There's so much to digest and break down of what the Brotaku was thought about. So join the chat. Let us know what you guys thought about it. And let's have a good show. Let's get started. Welcome, Anime Lily fans. How you guys doing? LegendDVash, as always, King of Games. Down below is SamTheMangaMan and JBXclusive, and we're here to do a My Hero Academia manga review chapter of 302 discussion. So, this was a heavy chapter. Me and Sam did our reaction, so definitely check that, guys, if you guys haven't, and don't forget to subscribe as well, because if you want more of these type of discussions, it's very gladly appreciated to grow
trying to reach 10,000 subscribers.
and
Help us.
like and press that notification time we upload the videos. And other than that, as always, as we start the show, we like to hear our opinion from the two co-hosts that did not join our show, James and Ray. What did you guys think about the chapter? Your first impressions. Talk it off.
First impressions, man. This chapter broke my heart again. Coming off of the last chapter 301, we knew that it was going to go further into this Todoroki story, this part of this story, and it filled in some gaps from things that we learned earlier on in the manga, earlier on in the anime. And yeah, man, it completely broke my heart just watching Endeavor be this terrorist, this demon to his family. Like one of the first things he says is, all I can show anyone is the world of heroes. And Ray just looks at him like, heroes? It's like, you're not a hero. And much like in 301, Toyo's like, hero? Like, all of my friends at school look up to heroes, but I don't have that example. I have you, Endeavor, as a father. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're just getting more of that family dynamic. And I really hope that it continues to go in these next couple of chapters. We actually saw the moment where Toya burst into flames into the forest, and that was heartbreaking to watch. Even though we already knew that it happened, it was heartbreaking to watch him not being able to fully control his powers because his father put all of this pressure on him and then abandoned him. So he didn't know what to do in that situation, and Endeavor has failed his family on so many different levels. And again, this chapter just shows us even more of those levels. So Ray, I'll toss it to you, and then we can keep going. And
so I mean,
talking about this
to
chapter.
echo what James said, yeah, this Horikoshi Sama continues to break my heart with this Todoroki family, and it's like I laugh because I'm in pain. These chapters are actually legitimately sad. Like, legitimately watching his family like slowly crumble. Like, when I say family, I mean watching his family slowly crumble sucks. And watching Toya and Ray break sucks. And watching these other kids just be bystanders to the whole thing sucks. There are no good parts of this, none. And I feel like that's why he's telling the story to get us where we are now in present day, because this family is ready to move past their trauma and save one of their own that they couldn't before, now knowing what they know. And I really, and before I was like, nope, I hope that they don't. I hope that they do. I really do hope that they save Toya. As a family, I hope that Shoto and Endeavor both go to get Toya back. Like, I actually want to see that confrontation between the three of them, like, legitimately. Like, I really, because at first I just wanted it to be Shoto and Toya, but I'm like, no, I needed to be Endeavor, Toya, and Shoto. Like, I need to see that. Man, like, I don't know if I want to see them Avenger style as a family go after him. I mean, that also would be cool, but this chapter just, it continues to hurt me, and I'm like, all right. The last like a Marvel style panel from this chapter was like, well, what's about to happen next? Because it seems like we're about to get back into more of the present stuff, which I'm excited about, but also like, all right, what are they about to do? Endeavor, now knows that he has to face his mistake. So beautiful chapter, well done.
Yeah, I would actually love to see the entire family go after Toya, because I mean, at the end of this chapter, it seems like the best thing to do to get this family together, because they've never been a full cohesive unit. So I feel like it would be so meaningful if it's the whole family, but we'll see how it goes, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like that would be a really cool moment to have his first family. Oh! It would be
Yeah.
his fantastic, incredible style. Oh,
I was just about to lead into that.
Okay, I'll take it.
Because of the
that.
4
Yeah,
kids and everything.
I would like to
it's-
see them all using their ice quirks, and like, could you see it like them on the side using their ice quirks, Shoto and Endeavor using their fire quirks, and Ray in the middle using her ice quirk? Bro,
Oh man.
that
That
spread.
That'll be the first time we actually see Ray use her ice quirk.
I mean, it'd be basically the first time we've seen most of them use their quirks outside of Endeavor, Toya, and Shoto. So like, I could see that being a full ass beautiful spread. Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be
it'd be
beautiful.
amazing.
Ugh.
So to add to what you guys were saying, one, I want to give props to the shading and the art and the panel and the pacing in this chapter as well. It showed how menacing Endeavor is, like how heartless. It showed that his face in most of the chapter was not always shown, was always covered. It was always in shading of darkness, because it showed that he was more of his pride and his ambition to be stronger than All Might. And that's what Toya said again at the end of the chapter, like, hey dad, you should come and watch me back in the mountain, because I could be better than All Might, I could be stronger. And in that panel again, it showed Endeavor, his face barely showing. It showed that he's a person that right now doesn't want to be seen, because of how much of, not hatred, of how much he just is focused on his ambition to worry about his creation of Shoto himself.
I mean, it's just it goes back to show you that, and Ray says it. She's like, all he wants you to do is look at him every once in a while, acknowledge him, like be a father. Is basically what she's asking. Like she's begging NG to be a father. Like basically, like, had you looked at him, had you like given him some recognition as a kid, as a person, not just as a failed attempt, as he called himself, failed creations that they threw away, that this might not have happened. And she's right. Like, honestly, like, had Endeavor actually just been a dad, which I said this last time, he wasn't ready to be a father. He didn't want to be a father. He just wanted to be a hero that had something that beat All Might, which is just like, every time it's like, yeah, super shitty. Super shitty.
And in his mind, like, how do you take credit for that? Because it's a creation that you and Ray made, and then Shoto would have had to train his entire life to become the new pinnacle. So how do you think that you would get to take credit for that?
The selfish way
his
that
mindset is just so
the selfish
twisted.
way that parents, cheer and yell too much at a kid's football game. You know what I'm saying? The ones that get too into it, that's Endeavor.
Shoto!
I mean, okay, that always makes me laugh, though. I'm not gonna lie. That always when he yells his name, it always makes me smile. And I think Horikoshi does it on purpose, which I'm thankful
definitely for sure. I love it. And props to the voice actors to try to bring that actually to life as well, to bring that type of comedy to as well. But I don't want to jump too much into the end, but there's a chat from our boy Pedro in the chat saying, do you guys think Hawks was filming the reaction of what happened because he has a phone at the end of the panel?
No, the door was closed.
No.
Yeah.
If anything, they're like, he was getting an update about something else and was showing it to Gene, especially saying we need to get him out here to make a statement now. Probably is what I was guessing.
Yeah, me too. Okay,
that's how I saw it too.
Until like Endeavor could get back on his feet, this is the correct reaction to have for Endeavor to speak to the public of what he needs to do and responsibilities. And I think Ray said this before, like I think 2 videos back. Like Dabi is probably looking forward to Endeavor breaking on camera or like panicking and stuff, but really he's gonna be standing on his own 2 feet, accepting responsibilities this time, accept what's going on, and he's gonna like do what he needs to do to like save the public and to help like to capture Dabi and all that stuff like that. Well, and then Dabi's gonna be all angry and stuff. It's like, no, I wanted to break you, and then the whole chain cycle reaction.
So what I see is you know how Endeavor in the past hasn't cared about the public, what he thinks of him. Like he's going to understand that they really do feel this way about him, and he will care because now it's like all of it is actually real to him. Like he's like, yeah, I've been like, this facade as a hero is gone, and now I have to be a hero. Like, yeah, he was doing his job before, but that was just it. He was just doing his job. Now hopefully his family's convinced him that you do need to be the hero to go and save not just our family but the people,
right?
Hopefully.
Right.
And plus, to add to what the chat said as well, I love in that panel, the last 2 pages 16 and 17, my favorite panel is Shoto is our family's hero. where we have Deku and past Shoto right there showing the growth he has been doing since season 2 of the sports freaking festival. And that's when I grew to love my hero because of that season and that fight of Deku versus Shoto. I love it because it showed of how like, hey, just because of your family's problems, your past, you cannot let that stop you. So that's when he finally opened up and used his fire quirk. And the next panel is when he's like, once you're done grieving, stand back up because we all have to stop Toya. I love that. And him just crying, like understanding like, hey, I'm here, grown man, and but at the same time he understands that he has a lot of mistakes, but his kids and his ex-wife is coming here to help him get back up.
I think they're still married.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I said maybe ex-wife. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they're definitely still married.
They're
yeah.
still married. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why he says that. Remember when he says that it's just the woman that I married? Yeah, they're still married.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, nice statement on
Mhm.
that. But
Um,
again, I love that panel. It was so detailed. How did you guys feel about that panel in the saying Shoto is a family's hero?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically all their hopes and all their sins combined into one, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so he's now chosen to be the hope of the family. Like he's chosen
He
that
chose
path,
this path.
and so that's why
after that fight with Deku, he chose this path. Where,
Exactly.
Like, okay.
Well,
not
I
only
told
am
you,
I gonna use the plane-
Deku saved him from the path of the sins that Dabi fell into.
Mhm.
So he could be the hope of this family, and save all of them at the same time. Because like I feel like he was kind of the one that was like bringing the sparks of hope back to them, seeing him actually thrive as an actual hero. So.
Yeah,
it's so
I
good.
personally love that because I mean, on an additional level, right? Like Shoto growing and his relationship with NG over time showed NG that he needed to be a better person.
Mhm.
Shoto also forgiving Ray and calling her mom and visiting her in the hospital also helped her with her recovery.
Did it also reveal that it was actually Shoto this whole time that gave her the flower? Like it wasn't just Endeavor that gave
Well,
it to her?
I think it
I
was
couldn't
always
tell.
in. I think
I
it,
think it's
to
a mix of
me-
both.
To
A
me, I think
mix.
it was always Endeavor, but Shoto
Mhm.
used to visit her all the time.
Right. I mean, the fact that after what she did to him, that he could still acknowledge her as his mother is like, no, there is hope for this.
Yeah, and that
So-
pushed her to be the brave woman that we see in this chapter and the last one, and in the future chapters that we're going to see. Like, if Shoto can do this, if my son can push past all of his feelings so that we can save the rest of our family, I need to pull up my bootstraps and do the exact same thing to save my son and to put my family back together.
And
Yeah,
I
I
love
love it.
how
Ugh.
Endeavor was so shocked of the way she spoke to him because just like Ray said, are you really the woman I married? Like it showed how
Well, I
your
think-
heart may be broken, but we're here to get you back on your feet. You have no choice but to fight Dabi. So she knows that Endeavor and Shoto and the whole family has to fight to get
Mhm.
back Toya. And I love that acknowledgement because they know that hey, he's our son, but also he's a bad guy. Like he said, he killed 32 people and everything. So they acknowledge that, like, hey, that may be our son, but he's long gone. But at the same time, we need to get him back. So I love how Ray acknowledged that, and she understands the family sense, and they need to break that. And they said it again, like Shoto, and I love how, like Ray said it, there are their hope and their sense, like the half and half, and that's the beautiful type of symbolism he put on that.
Yeah. What page is this? This is page 4 and 5, right? One of my favorite parts of this chapter
Mhm.
was Toya just trying to talk to Natsu, just trying to talk to his brother,
Mhm.
and even his brother
Boy,
dismissed him.
fuck.
So that throws him
But the
even
thing is, like,
deeper into his psychosis.
I felt like that would have been like that was like the first time and all the other time where he had to dismiss him because he had to absorb and be the only person to listen to Toya and what's been going on, that stuff.
Well, I mean, but that's also the page where he says the shitty thing about the women in his family, and I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's really shitty. You shouldn't say that about your mom or
Yeah.
your sister. But it's like he takes what he from
never.
this hurts me because like the way he feels about his mom, he projects onto his sister, and that's really super shitty because she
Yeah,
didn't do anything to him. All she did is loved him like literally just as a sibling. All the times we've ever seen her interact with him is always her just trying to like pay attention to him, but he doesn't want anything to do with her.
Mhm.
and it sucks. I hate
Yeah,
that.
because I think Toya sees her as the weakest, and she's the furthest away from becoming a hero. And if he spends time with Fuyumi, I feel like he feels like Endeavor will look away from him even more. Because like, yeah, just go play with your weak sister. There's nothing for you here to be a hero. Like, it's all so messed up. Like in just small little ways, they all failed Toya. But
And
I
like,
mean, you can't put that kind of like
Right.
responsibility on kids as well. You know what I
Right,
mean?
exactly. So that's what I was
mhm,
about to say. I can't blame the kids for being kids. You
no,
know,
Right,
and
right.
that's the part
But
that
I'm just
hurts the
saying that's
most.
what Toya
Because yeah,
feels.
that's how he feels. But it's like they didn't know. Like
Yeah, exactly.
they didn't have the cognitive reasoning to like understand what was happening to their brother. He was just like, "Shut up, man! It's late." I can assume it was really late at night. He was trying to sleep. He was like, "Bro, shut up! Go talk to somebody else. I'm trying to sleep. You do this all the time, you know, stuff like that." And so
But
I'm like,
that's so
I felt so bad for him,
But
bro.
that's so real because I understand where he's coming from because I have an older brother and he has complained about mom and dad, and then I'm like, yo, I just want to sleep. I want to wake up and watch my Saturday morning cartoons, but it's just like that's beautiful to see. But like Ray and James said, it's fucking sad. Like seeing that like your older brother coming to you and just want to complain and like have the brotherly sibling like, hey man, that sucks ass, don't he? Like he doesn't look at us no more because he has his pride and joy of Shoto now, and you just see that, and you just feel so bad for Toya because he just wants to talk to his younger brother, but he just wants to sleep, and he's tired of hearing
I
it
mean,
day in and day out.
he wanted somebody. He wanted to like. He wanted somebody to feel the way he does. He's like, yeah,
yeah,
doesn't it suck the way he's throwing us away? He's like, don't you feel the same way I do? Aren't you as mad as I am? Like,
Yeah,
he
we're
just wanted to
failed
he
creations.
wanted to relate to somebody. And dang,
But at the
ugh.
same time, but then at the same time, Albert Natsuo said, "Don't you want to bother our sister about it?" And then they would say, "Like, yo, she's useless, just like our mom is useless." Like, and that's why, like, it just threw your sister on the bus when she barely did anything to you. Like, she didn't
yeah.
cause any harm or anything.
That's exactly what Ray just said. Like all the sister did was show him love and everything, and yet he just threw her aside as she was nothing. Like literally, just what Ray exactly said. But
But what's crazy is that they're a year apart. Otoya and brother sister is a year apart, but he doesn't even care for her now one bit as well.
no,
Because I mean, look at how Endeavor treats the women in his life. Like Toya can only go by that example, so he's doing that to Fuyumi. He only sees her as someone who will grow up in order to get married to help some other family, probably. Like I don't know that for a fact, but
I
he
mean,
doesn't see the value in Fuyumi being
right.
a
And so
hero.
this is basically just showing you that Toya is literally all the worst parts of Endeavor amped up to like 100. That's literally
facts.
what this is.
It is.
Toya is legitimately everything bad that Endeavor is all that Toya became, like all of it, and you're
Like
seeing that.
I want to go into that next page, where page 5, where the
Oof.
mom is trying to convince Toya, like, do you even want to be a hero? Because this is like it making you suffer. It's harming you. Like you wanting to become a hero, is this gonna be for never, or is it for yourself? If it's for yourself, I understand you want to do what you do. But if you're just doing this just to get the approval of Endeavor, I don't want you to do it.
Mhm.
What's really hard, like kids do some kid stuff. They would literally like insult their mom and like say all that stuff, but he didn't really need to like say like I looked up what grandma like in the family and your family were really poor, and uh what do you know? Like what are you looking for the self-help for? And like you had no choice but to sell yourself off to Endeavor in order to create me. And I was like, oh my, like dude,
What a super shitty thing to say.
you can't say that to your mom.
Like what a
Yeah.
super shitty thing to say. But I feel like at that point he doesn't really even see her as like a mom, which
Yeah.
really is frustrating.
But
And
no,
it's like,
no, but from last chapter, you saw that her eyes was like she gave her that like dead fish eyes towards his son, because what they're doing to Toya is they're trying to create new trying to get more children, just so that Toya doesn't like train and hurt himself all over again, that sort of way. But all that neglect and like trauma that she's done to Toya, it literally went full circle right back at her, where he detests her.
yeah, to piggyback off of what you're saying, Sam, like the reason why Toy is talking to her like that is because he feels that she wasn't a mother to him. It's like, yeah, you just popped me out because you needed to secure the bag. You needed to take care of your family. That's the only reason why you're married to dad. And because she never stood up to Endeavor. She never once stood up to Endeavor to do anything to try to help Toya protect him or even try to help him with his training on any level whatsoever. Like he was looking, like Ray said, he was looking for support from anyone, and he just didn't get it from anyone.
And I mean, I will say that we have seen like the behind the scenes where she did advocate for him to go be a father to him, and it's like, yeah, he didn't get to see that, he didn't get to hear that, which is unfortunate. But it's like she did want NG do, but she also felt like she couldn't do it, and she didn't try to do it because she felt that he was so connected to, Endeavor. And
Yeah, because
it's like he wouldn't listen to me. He will only listen to you, and so that's why she didn't try to do anything. And then the one time she tried, he snapped at her like that.
and the art, I gotta say, the art when she snapped is amazing. Because sorry, when he snapped to her, it's amazing. It hurts, but it like in the chat that said is like not to say the word or anything, but
Like, he's not
it,
wrong
like,
when Toya's not wrong when he said that you're also guilty too, mom. But at the same time, you didn't have to like do that to her and her family and their kind of conditions and stuff. It's like, yeah, she's to blame that she wasn't able to be a better mom for you. But at the same time, it's not like she didn't have a choice. She also technically did choose this. She said so in the past in that panel. It says my options were limited, but I made my choice and I walked the path on my own accord. I had hope, if nothing else, that I could have kept smiling. Unfortunately, it didn't last. She couldn't smile from this. The damage was done.
Yeah, John, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for that
Thank you.
super chat, man. And great question. Do you think Horikoshi wants to start a conversation about mental health? And how do you feel that Todoroki is getting this development and not Deku? So the
Well,
first part of that question for me, I
Mhm.
feel like Horikoshi has been talking about mental health since My Hero began.
Exactly.
If I'm being honest. And the second part of that question, I'm loving it, man. Like I feel like Shoto and the Todoroki family needed this character development. Like we're 300 chapters in, and I feel like Shoto is kind of like the third wheel, like when you look at like Bakugo and Deku. So I really like that he's getting this development. You can see him being this teenager growing into a man and really finding himself and becoming a true hero. So I love that the Todoroki family is getting this development over Deku right now.
Absolutely agreed. And like it's literally what you just said. Shoto's been third fiddle, not second fiddle, third fiddle to everybody else, and that character has a very, very, very interesting story as we're learning.
Yes.
Mhm.
So this character is like legitimately as like, and I hate to say it like this way, now Shoto deserves all the fandom love that he's been getting because
Yes.
he's been characterized. Like
He-
Shoto didn't even
he-
really have that much characterization before. Y'all were like, oh, Shoto. And I'm like, listen, now it's like, yeah, you could be like, oh, Shoto, because like, look at this boy. He has so
It's
much
like,
weight
oh,
on
he-
his shoulders.
It's like he got the character development now. Okay, now he gets all the love. Like he always had this. It's
He
just
always
that
had the love, but now he deserves
But
it.
thing is that before, but then before he had the possible love, now he has the concrete love like he deserved. Like before he had, it just sucks that not sucks, but it just people were impatient to get the Shoto backstory. Like it was gonna come in due
I've been
time.
waiting on this for a long time.
Mhm.
Same here, and we were all excited for it. And when we said, "Oh, are we getting for this?" Oh, we finally got it. Hopefully, it doesn't go back to Deku Nobody because I want more of this. And I love how it just shines on the villains. It shines on the other characters. It shows the beauty side of the other characters. It doesn't just shine on Deku on the only core characters. It shines on the other side characters. It builds the world. It builds on the world building of the series itself. It shows that other of these characters that got introduced are not just fodder characters, are not just important characters, because that's what they are. It shows because it builds the other main characters like Shoto to be much bigger, and to like Dabi / Toya for maybe it's gonna circle back to Shigaraki as well.
Oh no, it will, because these
Yeah.
these upbringings are very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
and
like-
that's why I said like I feel like he's been talking about mental health since the beginning.
and
'cause-
I was just about to say it's like it's even more nuanced than that. He's been talking about mental health in a society that doesn't care about mental health if you don't want to be a hero, which is the
Exactly.
hardest part. Like that sucks and is very, very powerful. Like he's bringing points from our reality to this story and making them fit, and I think that's incredibly impressive. Like it is very impressive the way he's weaving the story, and there have been so many characters you can relate to because shit like this happens in real life,
Yeah.
minus the powers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, and like, so I'm very happy that he's getting this development. Deku doesn't need it, at least not yet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
with Deku has been like, Deku's the main character. We've been getting a ton of Deku development,
Like
and so now it's really time for him to fill out the other characters that are really important to his story going forward, because I feel like he's had this big wide scope of people he's focused on. Now I feel like he's starting to rein it in and tell really good stories about the characters that we need going forward. which is really good. Like, please
Right.
keep doing that.
Yeah.
If people think about it, like technically Deku had effect to all the people like he's touched emotion with Bakugo and now with Shoto. Now we know from more of the mental abilities of how Deku affected Shoto. It's literally still here. It's also thanks to Deku that not only is he a number one hero going to be in society in the world, but he's also helped his friends and helped their family member in a way. It helped change people, like it changed them emotionally and changed them the way they think. It gave them a better perspective. It helped save them and it helped them become a better person in the future that they're going to become.
And what I saw in the chat just said, so Monster Trio. We could finally get the Monster Trio that every series have, like in Black Clover, Asta, Yuno, and Noel. Now that Shoto finally is getting his characterization, his backstory and stuff, now we could get the Deku, Bakugo, Shoto Monster Trio. Because before it was just the Monster Duo, Bakugo and Deku, or at times it was Bakugo and Shoto because of Deku before. Now we get the Monster Trio that we've been wanting for the longest. Now that we getting that nice promotional campaign that happened a couple months ago of those nice black outfits and everything, which we
Right.
still don't know anything about.
I feel like this is actually happening now because Shoto's probably gonna have a bigger role in that. To be honest, so I really hope so actually. But it's like, Dim, don't even play. I don't want nothing about Mineta. Mineta can. I'm like, I can't wait for them to be like, oh snap, where's Mineta? Oh, he died. Dang. But no. I feel like he'll always be a gag character. I mean, he might have a serious moment later on, but it'll be a comic relief.
There's always a gag character for a reason. Just like in Black Clover, we have our boy Second. He's a useless character that I hate with passion. James and Ray knows this for a reason. I hate him with a passion.
He's awesome. I did it. Yeah. Cameron put this question in chat twice. Would you guys like to see Dobby survive or leave it up to the fandom? So, man, I'll be honest, right? I can see it going both ways, and I honestly don't care. One way, I would love for them to just stop Dobby and get him incarcerated. The other way, I kind of want him to fight against the family and then just burn up to ash. It can go either way, and I wouldn't care. I feel the exact same way about both ways.
I'm a sucker. I want them to save him. Like, I don't think he'll ever be like a main part of the family, but like, I feel like he's the family member they can go visit in jail and be like, hey, how you doing?
I'm good either way.
I want them to save him. I do, because he was traumatized and he's a product of his trauma, and I don't feel like he deserves to die because of that, because it wasn't his fault.
Yes.
So
I want to go in with like, without Endeavor's training, he's been training on his home for like the past 5, maybe 6 years, or maybe even slightly longer, because Endeavor and Ray was trying to like give birth to Shoto, like literally trying to stop Toya from training by himself. But he did everything like a rebellious kid to try not get caught that he was been training. He had to take off his shirt because he can't show any burn marks. He has to hide any of it from it. And then we technically find out that his flames comes from his emotion. The blue flames comes from his sadness, from his own tears. And he's still trying to have Endeavor to see him, trying to make him proud.
I'd like to add to what you were saying, Sam. In page 9, it shows that here Toya saying, I might be as awesome as Shoto sooner or later. Maybe I will even be better than All Might someday. I think you gotta give me some respect, Dad. You'll be glad you created me. I just know it. That hurt me.
That hurt.
When I read that in a reaction with Sam, that hurt me because he said, you would be glad you created me.
Instead
Toya
of like,
is the oldest one. He believes that he was just born to be created as a creation to become a hero for the ambition of Endeavor as a tool, and it's just
not even
wild.
Son, but just an instrument for him to surpass All Might and Endeavor. He's angry about this.
He's so messed up in the head. He was he was completely okay with being a weapon if it meant having
Some
the
respect
acceptance from his dad.
Yes,
Like that's so messed up. Like, and this is why I say that they're all to blame, right? Not the kids, but Ray and Endeavor, because it's like you can see that this kid is obviously suffering mentally and he's hurting himself physically.
For help.
He's literally crying out for help, and no one did anything. Like it's
and what's
crazy.
worse is Endeavor blames Ray. He blamed Ray. He attacked her and everything.
He blamed everybody but himself.
Exactly. It's like, dude, this is mainly your fault.
It
You
is
did
his
this.
fault. Yeah, like you did this to a child, okay? You like literally have like, and I love how they're like, stop crying. You have no reason to cry. I'm just like, it's like, yeah, you finally realized that you've been an asshole this entire time. Thank you.
And plus,
But now you got to do your damn job.
Yeah.
And plus, Chad said
Yeah.
as well, a child crying just for his hero attention, technically his father, and that hurts because
It does hurt.
I know anybody that knows that if the father, the mom works so much, but you never get their attention, you just want some type of at least a hi, at least a bye, at least spend 10 minutes with them, but never took the time to actually spend that moment with them because, like we saw in the beginning of the chapter, when she said, "Third son Shoto, don't look at them, Shoto. Your siblings belong to a different world than you. Just this one time, please. Let me play with Toya and them. No, it's time to train your output capacity." We finally see this as a different perspective from the we found out
Like
in
both
season
brothers
2.
wanted to be in each other's positions, but do not know like the struggles and the emotional problems from this.
So question for you guys. I could be reading into this, but if you look at page 3, when that conversation happens, you can see Shoto playing with Natsu and Fuyumi, and you can see just the word bubbles. Do you think he heard them, or do you think that was just like a reference to say that they're talking inside of the house? Because he is pretty
Talking
far away
inside
to
the
hear them.
house.
But
They're
it's like,
talking
what was
inside
the
the
point of
house.
putting the word
Talking
bubbles?
inside the house.
I know they're in the
I don't know.
house, but do you think Toya heard them from outside? Is what I'm asking.
I don't know.
No,
Because we see the word
I don't
bubbles.
think so.
Potentially, because if you think about those kind of homes, like those walkways wouldn't have windows, right?
Mhm.
So
Because I'm just trying to
potentially-
figure out what's the point of putting the word bubbles if
Mhm.
Horikoshi isn't trying to signify that they're talking really loud and they can be heard from outside. But I could be reading
Right.
into it.
I would. I mean, think about it. Endeavor's not quiet.
I mean, and that would also explain to me why Toya gives that look
Yeah.
in
yeah.
the
I think
very
it's
next
because
panel.
how I see it is like
Mm.
Toya probably saw like, oh, Shoto's getting more attention from dad again, and like literally like hearing his dad's voice out loud, seeing Toya and literally dragging him to do training. Toya knows what it's about. He knows like, yo, okay, he's getting more attention from dad again. Like that used to be me. Like that, I was in that same position before any of my siblings were born, and
Mm.
now like I'm envious of Shoto because he gets dad's attention, but Shoto's envious of Toya because he gets to play with his siblings and literally.
Well, I
beat
mean,
them.
Shoto wants to be a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't. He doesn't get to be a kid like Toya has been forced to be when he wants to be the one being hero trained. You know, and that's the shittiest part about it. But hey, Tate, you coming in hot. Appreciate that. That was a super chat. So he says, making Dobby more human is to show how inhuman that he has become. I feel that this is a theme with Shigaraki and Toga, where the contrast is eye-opening. Yeah, I mean,
Yes. No, for
like
sure.
Horikoshi is trying to like he's showing you the duality of these characters and how one bad day these characters could have been each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Big
that's,
facts.
That's beautiful because that's one thing I give props about My Hero because we don't see the different side of villains in Shonen type of series. Like in, for example, One Piece. As much as I love One Piece, we don't find the full type of duality of every single villain of Big Mom, Kaido. Like we see their different sides, but we don't see their in-depth
Only
mindset.
one missing is Spinner. You know what? I hate to tell y'all, Spinner ain't as important as y'all think. Like Spinner's just there. He's the loyal one. He's basically like, hey, your dog, I got
Like,
you.
I
Technically,
mean,
Majestic
I
didn't
do
have a
want
huge
more of
backstory
Spinner,
either.
but I don't
I
need a
mean,
whole
could
backstory.
his backstory
But-
be interesting when Stain is there? Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I don't
But
need a
remember, he's a
backstory. I just
skill.
want more.
I'd much rather
But
have
thing is-
Stains, but I'd much rather
Yeah,
have
but
more
then people
Stain than
judge
Spinner.
him because of how he looked. Because he looked like a scaling character. People judge him in high
have
school
people
and in
look
middle school.
Worse. No, I don't think
Yeah, there are a lot of people who look way worse than
Worse.
I know. I'm just saying. Maybe people like if he did get bullied back in middle school and high school,
Which
he has
you
the
know
most
he did.
respectful
You
type
know
of.
he did get bullied. But it's
He
just
did
that
bullied.
like I think he has somebody to look up to in Stain, and so I'm like, but yeah, I feel like, and I hate to say it, at this point his backstory wouldn't be, unless it's completely effed up, as interesting as everybody else's. And I feel like I would ask that we get more Stain than any more Spinner, and
Yeah, I
unless
think
we see that relationship
both,
develop
yep.
and it becomes more of a mentor student,
Yes,
which would be
that-
super lit.
That's
And it's
that's
like,
what I want.
and
That would be
Stain goes more
amazing.
like, I have learned, and my like mindset has changed a bit, and so
Ooh,
like
that'd be beautiful.
hopefully, I don't know. That's what I would want. That's what I would want from Spinner. Development from a teacher who actually
And
cares about him.
If I remember correctly, did All Might and Stain ever talked with each other?
Yo, what is Spinner's quirk?
He's a lizard. He can.
Yeah,
stick
he's
to
a
stuff.
lizard.
Is that it?
He's a
So
gecko.
far, that's all they told us. Yeah, he's a
From when
gecko.
we searched a couple of months ago, because we also had the same question. From what I remember, he is a gecko.
Yep.
Not sure.
Because
Not
Mila
sure
in
if he has
chat,
to.
she's like, Spinner needs a quirk evolution. I'm like, yeah, but like, what
What would
else?
he-
What does he do?
I can
if-
blend in with my environment.
So that's what I was gonna say. Maybe with a gecko, like blend in with the environment, or maybe turn invincible. Like it depends what is a quick evolution. But I hope it.
I don't know.
something
Like I
cool.
said, I feel like Spinner's just kind of like, I hate to say it, he's background. He really
Hey,
is.
yo,
Like,
yo, do you guys remember Twice?
He's dead, you
I know.
asshole. Stop
know.
reminding me. Wow. Rude. Anyway.
Oh, I love what Dem says in chat. Villains
What's up?
are made, not born. Big
except for
facts,
All for
bro.
One.
Very true.
That's the point. Except for All for One. He was born a villain. Don't
That
care
is
what
very
nobody
true.
says. Because there are people that see, this is what it's showing you. There are some people even in real life who are inherently evil. Inherently people
for sure.
evil, they exist. And there are some people who are made evil by their circumstances. And that's what he's showing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is. And I hate it, but it's like that's real life. There are people who are legitimately inherently evil. And there are people who are made evil just based on what they've experienced as people. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, like Sam said and Rob also brought it up. Before we got into the arc, Oma said that he's gonna head to the prison and talk to Stain, but we never know that if Oma actually had the chance to talk,
Yeah.
or if that got interrupted before the whole prison break. So we don't know if that actually happened or if they spoke, and Stain is gonna meet up with Oma. We don't know.
I doubt it happened because I feel like that's such a huge moment, and I feel like Horikoshi would show it to us. And then now that Stain's on the loose, I feel like it could still happen, just not in prison.
Just
hey,
it's
y'all
true.
better chill. Talk about my boy Twice. I hate y'all. I hate y'all so much.
That's why I
They
did it
gave
for him. Like,
Twice
thank
Red
you,
Bull.
chat.
Y'all,
Oh man, Twice was giving wings.
I'm gonna ban all y'all.
Goddamn.
I'm gonna ban each and every single one of you.
I was
hate
hoping
y'all.
Chad would do this for me. I'm like, thank you. Yeah, I
It's
knew what I was
not
talking
funny.
about.
Rude. The most
They gave
impactful
Twice
death
Red
we've
Bull?
had in the entire series, even over Night Eye, if you ask me. Rude.
Yo, John said they gave Twice Red Bull.
Rude.
Oh, that's funny. Cameron said,
God.
is a doctor captured? We still have no confirmation about that, because I feel like if this is the government, it's gonna force them to make their own nomos. If they make their own sentinels, oh my
That is
god,
a very interesting point, actually.
because the
I
government.
don't think he's captured. I think he got away.
But imagine
But
if he
if
is.
they did capture him, and if they did try to make him make like their own nomus, that would be kind of interesting.
I mean, but would
because-
you put it past them? Nope.
You won't, because it's just
exactly.
like,
That's my point.
it's just like an X-Men. They make their own sentinels to stop their own mutants. It's just like it is. Like they will make their own nomos to stop.
Well, I mean, so I feel like it's going to become a quirk versus science type deal, because it's like the people. Remember the attitude of the people in the prison? I'm sure that's not just them.
oh yeah,
That's
it's
not just them. I'm sure there's a lot of people
in the
that's like, you know,
government and the people in
and
town.
basically somebody's going to go to the government and be like, look, this quirk stuff getting out of control. We got to do something, or else us normal folks are going to be killed by all these rampant quirks out here. We got to do something. And then they'll be like, well, we stole the technology from this doctor where we can make our own soldiers to combat it. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe they adopt the anti-quirk bullet situation and start using that.
I was just gonna say, dude, and that's such an American comics thing. Like
Yep.
like what Vash
Mhm.
was saying, that's such an X-Men thing. And again, like, not to go off on a huge tangent, but that's pretty much what's going on in WandaVision right now. Like, when the heroes were gone, with everything going on with Thanos, the government and Sword realized that they had to come up with their own weapons. And Hayward was actually trying to rebuild Vision to make his own anti-meta weapon. So it's like, God, so good, so good.
I want to break the breakdown of Endeavor in page 11. You didn't go after him. You didn't go after him in the forest. His
Oh,
excuse
yeah,
was,
that's a
I
good one.
thought I'd only be throwing fuel onto the fire, but no, that's not right. Like, the truth is, I had no idea what to say to him. He didn't show up. He didn't like go anything for Toya. Even if he didn't know what to say, he could have at least showed up.
I told you it's because he didn't know how to be a father. A father would have
Exactly.
showed up. He didn't know how to be a dad. All he knew how to be was a hero.
He didn't need to say anything. What he needed to do was show up.
Was
If
to be
Toya's in the woods, go there and help him. You know that he's hurting himself and
all he
he's
had to
never
do-
going to stop. So
Yep.
just go there and just help him. Help
Yep.
him control his power so that he doesn't kill himself and anyone else.
Mhm.
That's what a hero would do.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
But
a father.
Yeah, but it was just like all he had to do was physically be present. That was it. And he was too much of a coward to even go do that.
Yep.
He couldn't face what he had created.
Like
Straight up.
Toya was about to accept himself to get burned. He couldn't control his emotions anymore, and it literally was burning him. Like,
See, the thing is, had
everywhere.
he been there, he would have seen that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yep.
And like now we know, like every time that he's bleeding blood from his eyes, it's literally him tearing up from this moment. He's trying to hold it together. or
So,
else he's
John, I'm
bleeding
not gonna agree with that because horror coach is telling a story, and if this is fictional, and yes, it might remind them of that, but I feel like we've seen it in other stories in manga, and especially in Shonen Jump. Just because that did happen, yes, it's terrible history. I don't think that's going to prevent him from telling that if that's something that he decided to do. We've seen it before.
Yeah.
It just depends how it's told in the storyline. Like, for example,
Mhm.
it's just like an Attack on Titan. It's very resemblance to the Nazi and everything, but he doesn't forte and say in words, but people would know what is going on
And
with Attack on
Leela,
Titan.
Ray wouldn't have showed up because she already tried to parent him, and he completely rejected her. He wouldn't have listened to Ray at all.
No.
Period.
And
And plus
like,
when-
it's not like, and I think the only person that Toya even told was Endeavor.
Yep, only person he
Only
would have listened
person
to
he
even
told.
remotely is Endeavor.
And
That's
he
the only
showed
person
up.
he wanted attention from.
And he showed up after the force was already burned and was already done being put out. Because in the panel of page 12 and 13, right there's Endeavor screaming out of the audience, out of the people, out of the force, and then he goes into the force trying to look for him. He said, if only I would have given it all up on that day. If only he would actually tried and came on before the fire was all burning at the same time. So like
Yeah.
he tried, but it was too late when he tried it. He should have came on time.
I don't think. I think he just went after the fact in general.
Yeah, after.
Mm-hmm.
I will agree with Leela to a degree, right? I feel like just her showing up would have at least shown Toya that she cares, right? Because he feels like she doesn't care and she only made him to again secure the bag for her family. So where I don't believe that it would have impacted Toya in that moment,
It would.
I feel like it would have at least raised the percentage at like at least 2% to at least show Toya that she cares at least. Even
don't
if
think
it's
so.
only 2%,
I don't think so
I
either.
feel like she still should have done something. Even
He
if
doesn't
Toya
even
rejected
he doesn't
it,
even see her as a person.
Yeah.
and that's fine. Even if he rejected her, she still should have shown up.
Nope.
That's just what I
No.
think.
I feel like
Even if
She would have been. She would have been a
could have,
casualty.
but
of
exactly.
her
That's what I
flame.
feel like she would have been a casualty. Like that's what I'm saying. I feel like she would have showed up and he'd be like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And what is like? I think it would have exasperated. It would have made it worse.
Yeah, because
It
like
would've
saying
made
like
it
I don't want
so
you
much
here. I
worse.
want dad. Where is dad?
Exactly. Whereas
Like,
why
I
isn't
don't need
he
you.
here? I feel like it's like I feel like that would have literally made it worse, and she would have
And-
probably actually like legitimately would have been a casualty.
And
Straight
Leo,
up.
to your comment of Toya would feel like someone cared. Nobody did. He tried to reach out to Natsuo, but Natsuo chose that one day where he had to brush him off.
So what I'm saying is, it's like
felt like
I
nobody
don't.
cared
I
anymore.
feel like it was far too late for him to care about anybody else caring about him except for Endeavor.
For sure,
He's the
for sure.
only person
For sure.
that he wanted to care about him. Nobody else mattered to him. He only wanted the respect and the recognition from his dad. That's all he wanted.
And that's the thing, right? He's still just a kid. They don't know better. It's still
Exactly.
on the parents to do something. Just like Leela and Rob are saying right now, she still should have tried. I agree with you that it definitely would have made the situation worse,
Yeah.
but she should have tried, not just in that moment, but in multiple moments before. She should have shown up because Toya obviously believes that no one loves him.
Nobody.
She should have at least tried,
So
even
the
if it
reason
didn't
why-
work.
The reason why I said it is when she did try, he hit her with the hardest brick he
Well,
could
that was
find.
too late at that point. You know
Well,
what I
but
mean?
this
Like,
is- but
and
this is
all
what
she
I'm
said was
saying.
words. All
And
she
you
said
know
was
why?
words at that point.
'Cause
She should have showed up.
She was scared of Enji. Enji wanted him to. She wanted him to like go be a kid, like,
Mhm.
and that was it. And when, like I said, when she tried, he literally hit her as hard as he could have, and it broke her. You saw it in the scene. She broke.
Mhm.
That was when she realized I can do nothing for this kid, and it hurt her so bad.
Yes, but she should have pushed through that pain and still tried.
I mean, as a parent, yes, as a person, yes.
I still
She should have.
still think she would have failed. I agree
Yeah.
with you 100% that she would have failed,
Mhm.
but she still should have tried because
Yeah.
she's his mother, especially when you know for a fact that he believes that he was only created as a weapon. That
Mhm.
was her job to show up multiple
See,
times.
This is where I keep saying this family was broken. They weren't actually a family. She was a parent, but she was just biologically his parent. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
she even said it. She was like, "Yeah, I did this because this is what I had to do for my family."
She didn't
She
show
didn't know
up
how to
as
be
a
a mom.
mother.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she didn't know how to be a mom neither. You know what I'm saying? So like, they both are responsible. But what I'm saying is just in this situation, I see it as
For sure.
wouldn't have helped.
Yeah, and I
absolutely.
agree with you 100%.
Projecting my personal thoughts into it, yes, she should have been there for her child because that's what you do when you have kids. But
Mhm.
they weren't having kids to have kids. They were having kids to create weapons for society.
To create them. Yep.
Yep. I agree completely.
Whew.
But yeah, I mean, that's why like at the last chapter and this chapter, that's why I like to see like how strong she's being now, because you can tell she has had all of this time to reflect on
Mhm.
all of her past failures. She
Mhm.
didn't show up at any point for Toya at any point in the past, and now she has to. She sees the error of her ways, and now she has to show up because she never did. Even if she was scared, she was still supposed to show up. Even if Toya rejected her, even if he hated her even more for showing up, she was still supposed to do it. He would have
And,
rejected her. Maybe he would have killed her. It would have been a lot worse. I agree with everything you say, Ray, but she still should have showed up no matter what.
But that's why I think all the
Don't
time.
disagree.
That's why all the time I think when our boy Shoto was always coming to see her, she always was looking through the mirror because she was always feeling regret. She was always wishing that she wished she did something different because she never gave up. That's why every time we saw her in the panel, she was always staring at the mirror and she's like, "Oh, hi, kid, there's somebody here." But she always stared because she's like, "What if I did something different today? What happened if I? What happened if I was a better mother?"
That specific instance, I think it's because she still couldn't bear the fact of seeing
Endeavor. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
So, like-
it really sucks. It's really fucking hard. Like this, I'm telling you, this chapter, this whole thing sucks because it's so relatable.
But
Yeah.
again, we accessed last Sunday, and I really question it. Where is he getting these type of references from? Like, is this from his own past? Is this from his friend's past? Or is he making it up from stories he was told from his friends? Like, this feels so very relatable that anybody of us or chat could relate to any type of that family drama. Like, I really give props to Hori to give this type of great family references.
I also want to bring up another similar tradition. When Toya died, Endeavor felt like he had nothing to lose anymore. He felt like he might as well go all out and continue what he had mentally onto Shoto. Same way that Overhaul did for
I would not like
Similar.
to make that. I would not like to make that comparison.
No, just visually, right?
Yeah,
Just
just
that
visually.
one
Visually, yes.
that one
Just
part
visually, yeah, from that.
But this is where Endeavor truly fails for me.
Mhm.
Because after Toya dies,
Dies.
right?
Mm-hmm.
This was the moment where it's like, holy shit,
I should back
I have
off.
completely fucked up my entire family to the point where my son killed himself just trying to get my acceptance. This is where I should see the error of my ways. I should get therapy. I should change as a human being. I should be a better father. I should be a better husband because I just caused the death of one of my children and all of the mental anguish that went into Ray and all of the other kids. This was the moment where Endeavor was supposed to change up his ways. People are human beings. Having money, having power, he's still a human being. And that's what Horikoshi is showing us all throughout this story. These heroes are still human beings, but this is the moment where he truly failed.
Oh yeah.
Because then he doubled down on it. He was
He
like,
doubled
all
down.
right, well,
That's what
I'll
I'm
just
saying.
double
He
down because
leaned into his
since
failure.
Toya's dead,
Yep.
I have to do this or else it doesn't even mean anything anymore. This is where he truly failed for me
And plus, in this
as a
moment is
human
where.
being.
I
And plus,
agree.
in this moment is where
I
he
agree.
should technically back off. Be like, hey, let me become a father since I just lost one of my kids. Instead, let me just add more and become a hero for my kids. No, he should have chosen
Well, I
to
mean,
become a
I feel like
father
this
more.
is where so he just chose the wrong thing. I feel like he had that realization, but he just literally leaned in the wrong way. He hit the gas instead of the brake. He was like, well, maybe if I had just leaned harder into Toya, this wouldn't have happened. So that's what he started doing to Shoto. Sucks.
And
Hate it.
that's
But yeah, this is where he truly fucked up.
Oh hell yeah! Like this was what messed up more the whole family, but also himself, and plus his psychic, because that's what he just thought. Like, you know what? Let me just be more.
Brendan hits what I'm thinking right there on the head.
All right, go
He
say
says,
it.
I think that Endeavor was more like because Toya died because of his dream that he had to make Shoto succeed, so his death wouldn't have been for nothing.
And that's
this is-
fucked.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
He
But-
put all of his mistakes, all of his sins, everything that he had messed up on Shoto's shoulders. All of it.
But what?
And to Cameron's point, like, this is what I was asking at the end of this chapter, right? Like, what happened to Toya after this? Like, was he rescued
I
by
thought about leading
someone?
to that. Yes.
Did he see this as an opportunity to be like, well, my dad doesn't give a shit about me anyway. This would be the perfect opportunity to fake
Right,
my
and
death
get away.
and then just
Yeah.
move on to do something. Or I don't know. I
wanna
want to
I
know
wanna
what
know
happened
real
to
bad,
Toya after
But I
this
feel like he's
moment.
gonna make us wait.
But who did he
Yeah.
meet with? Like, who did he
Oh,
work
yeah.
with? Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
what type of villain? Like, who saved him? Or anything? Like, was it one for all? Like, did he like, hey, fine child, let me take you into my nice into my nice evil organization as well? Like, who was the one helping him with all this? Like, how did he know how to fake his death? Who helped him to fake his death?
They had to be the doctor had or some doctor had to be involved because he had to help like staple like the skin together for Dabi or for Toya, and then to also have surgery and stuff.
I don't know. He might do that to himself. I
I'm
don't,
about to
I
say,
don't know.
Yeah.
he looks crazy
Yeah.
enough to do that to himself.
Yeah.
When like, if you said that panel, in panel 9, sorry, in page 9, he looks crazy enough to staple his own self. Like,
I mean,
to just
all
fix
of
own
his
scar.
nerves are burnt to shit anyway. He can't feel it anyway, so it doesn't even matter. He probably did it to himself. Like, Ray
Yeah,
said.
it's because he's been doing this. He's 13 when he got like another scar on his stomach when he burned and everything. He's probably right now a good 20 years old and some change. So he's crazy enough to doing this.
Tia makes a good point. That's the reason why he wouldn't have known that Dobby was Toy, because his flames changed and he didn't know. His flames changed color. He never went to see it.
Yeah,
Yes.
He wouldn't
Hey,
know.
it's
Oh,
true.
shit.
God damn.
that's
That
what Toya was
is
trying
true.
to show him.
Yes, that's
He's
he
like,
tried-
I was
yeah,
able to do
that
this
was
cool
it.
trick. That was
Well, that's what I saw. That's what I thought immediately. He was like, I want you to see my flames. That's why he was like, that's why I can become better than Shoto and even be better than All Might. That's literally it. Like,
I
and
don't
he didn't
I
go
don't
see
know
it.
why I assumed his flames was always
It didn't
blue.
click.
No.
No,
I
like, so-
always thought it was
I
blue.
mean, it was always they were red at first, and then
Yeah, they were red,
changed
and then
blue
turned to blue.
when his body changed.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
because he's in emotions and everything. Because when
Crazy.
they said it, when he was in the forest, doing the training and everything, like, but then, well, when I get worked up, I don't know why, but I start crying. But also it's because he said that his flames turn blue. So like, I'm pretty awesome if I do say so myself. My dad's sure in for a surprise.
Exactly. See, he just wanted to impress him, and he's like, I finally did something that can impress him, and he didn't. It hurts.
Facts.
It really hurts. God dang.
Thank you, John. It's kind of sad that Endeavor chose to put his grief into hero work since his wife was in mental health. He has to make money somehow, oddly enough.
I mean, look. So we all know that.
No, well,
I feel like so this whole thing about mental health, we're not mental health experts, and
No.
I can't really speak to it. I can only speak to what I know. It is that look, I wouldn't say that Ray had mental health issues going into this relationship, but
No.
trauma can lead to so many different things.
It did.
Trauma and pain change people. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard because Endeavor didn't care about anything other than making something to surpass All Might. That includes Ray. He did not care. She was a means to an end for his weird obsession.
Mm-hmm.
And that really, truly sucks. I mean, and yes, it's like you see that she ends up in a mental institution because she couldn't handle it anymore. She mentally could not handle what he had done to her. And it shows. And yeah, Toya could have used some help, obviously. I'm not saying that if Endeavor had done anything, he could have saved his kid, because yeah, if he had a mental issue developed from the trauma that he had received from Endeavor, who knows? It could have been too far gone. You know, everybody's different. Like not everybody handles trauma differently. You know, and we don't know. This is just a story that he's telling. I'm not gonna push my personal thoughts on mental health on anything the story's telling me, because it shit just hurts to read, bro.
Yeah,
like it sucks regardless.
It's very true because
I keep saying this: trauma is trauma, abuse is abuse. There's no type that is worse. Like they all suck. Okay. I'm not gonna try to equate and like mix and match and what's worse and what's I'm not. There's not a dick measuring contest in abuse. You know what I'm saying? So
it's very true. To add to what Sam, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was gonna go to a whole science tangent right now, because how red flame can go to blue flame is also by calcium chloride, and it's a type of salt. Could it be like Toya's tears is the salt that helped cause the blue flames?
It's probably his emotions.
I mean,
potentially, like you said, it's probably his emotions, because his emotions said that when he gets right up, his flames change. So probably now with him, with all these years, he's just in distress, in anger against his father. That's why his flames has always stayed blue. But what I was gonna add,
I think it's just. I'm sorry. I feel like that's just like shonen stuff, which I'm like it's cool, but potentially like if we want to get real sciencey about it, maybe. But quirk evolution is a thing in this universe. It's a quirk evolution.
And plus, to add to what Ray was saying before, is that it's really beautiful how now, with the shonen material, is adding a bit of slice of life type of content, showing this type of realism, type of trauma, abuse, like Ray said, because it shows that shonen is not just what it is from what we see, like power-ups and action and everything, but also it shows that these people are humans. These people also feel the same way we feel. Yeah, they have quirks, they have power, they have Black Clover, they have magic, but there's also more into it. There's people that have feelings, emotions, and there's other layers in depth into it, and that's very important for us to understand as such readers, but also as such as the audience as well.
Yeah,
I kind of also like the fact that Horikoshi also gave the siblings the whole pedestrian effect. The mom said, like, I kept seeing my kids exactly like you, and I just couldn't take it anymore. The sister's like, I was in the background, I've been seeing it, but I was too scared to say anything or do anything about it, and I just try to fix to keep up the appearance. Natsuo said, like, it was you who started it all, but I could have at least something. Maybe I've like rebelled against you.
Exactly. Natsuo was like, I should have. He's the one who's saying, like, maybe I could have. Like, I feel like they're all trying to take their own personal responsibility. Like, had I done something, maybe this wouldn't have happened to him. Period. And like, it kind of just fucking sucks to see. Like, I hate it.
It's heartbreaking.
It really is. Like, when I say this stuff has been hard to read, I'm serious. This stuff has been super hard to read because it's like, it just hurts. Like, nothing about this is good.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. Like, it's very tough because it's again, it's very real into our own lives that anybody could relate into this.
That's what I say. There's something relatable, like in terms of like trauma, that a lot of people can relate to in this. I'm not saying you have to, because some people are okay, but like, God, it just it reminds you of certain things, and I'm just like, this really hurts my feelings. Can we move on now?
Well, transition for that. Speaking about moving on, Pedrags. What do you guys think? What happened next? Will we go back to Bago or Inko or Muriel now with this? Because do you think this is the end of part 2, or do you think there'll be one more part 3? What do you think will happen?
Well, I think part 2 is the end of like this 2-chapter thing that they're doing, but we're going to continue with the Todoroki family a lot more, I think,
later on.
When we see Bakugo again, it'll be with Deku and All Might at the exact same time. That's what I think. But I think we'll be with the Todoroki family for at least the next like 6 chapters. I think,
because I feel like now it's just we bring it more into present day and how they're going to address and move forward with what's happening, because Endeavor very much has to say something to the public, and how they're going to address it. Are they going to address it as a family?
I hope so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really hope so. Like, I hope that they finally see Endeavor with his family addressing the situation.
From a publicist standpoint, with the situation Endeavor is in right now, it would make sense for PR purposes to put the family on the screen. It's like, look, Endeavor's a family man who is also
none of that.
Like, talking about his mistakes.
I hope they tell the truth. That's like, hey, yo, we hate.
Well, no, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No, that's
a horrible father.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I know that's
what I'm saying.
I know that's
like,
what you're saying.
I want the family to be on stage so that NG can talk about his mistakes, and moving forward, he's going to try to fix his family that's on stage with him. He's trying to put the pieces back together.
I hope the public boos him. Boo this man! I don't really hope so.
He should get booed.
He deserves it. But yeah, I
Plus,
I
throw a
completely
book
agree
or
with
like
you. Yep.
throw a book or like throw like a tomato at him. Like
I hope
"Boo
somebody
this-"
throws a tomato at him. Boo this man!
Right?
Like, I hope so because he deserves it. But it's like, yeah, I absolutely hope that they're just like, yeah, they make them go out there as a family and talk about this, because I don't know, yeah, it shows kind of like full circle. It's like, yeah, Endeavor, he sucks. NG has a chance to be better.
It hurts Endeavor's case even more if the rest of the family doesn't show up.
Right.
Because it's like, well, why doesn't the rest of his family show up? What did he do to the rest of them, compared to this kid that says he's his son? So I feel like, again, from a PR standpoint, like it would be in his best interest to have the family there while he makes his public apology.
Random thought. Would it be weird if we find some random brother or sister of Endeavor coming out within the next couple of 100 chapters, like some random brother or sister coming out?
I hope not.
Sam, right? What do you think? No, as well.
No, bro. We just need to focus on the total working family we know. Don't be adding random wild cards. That's an ass pool. If you ask me. Like, it's like, yeah, we knew he was bad all along, and he owes me money. That's probably some shit they would do.
I can't believe I brought this product, even though it's like 50% off compared to the All Might figure and all stuff.
Oh man. But
I feel like if you were going to introduce an uncle, it would have happened already.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
With all of the things that all of these kids have been through and all of this stuff, like I feel like if there was an uncle, he would have showed up at some point.
Well, I feel like had there been like an external family member show up, we probably wouldn't have got Dobby. Is what I'm saying. So this had to happen this way.
I want to say thank you, Jordan Pax. You just
hey, Jordan, appreciate you.
Ray called it out. Endeavor just kept running from his problems. Their family is a microcosm of hero society.
Exactly right.
Yep,
it is exactly right. Exactly. I mean, yeah, Ray literally said it. She's like, heroes, and that was that panel. Heroes, you're just running away from your problems, masking it as being a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, straight up.
Like, no wonder Toya is like, I don't know a father. All I've ever seen was Endeavor. Like, never a father.
Yep. I don't have a hero figure or a father figure to look up to. Goddamn, that burns.
So look at Leela's post in chat. Like, do you guys think that this will push like Fuyumi and Natsu to like try to become heroes or do anything? Like, what do you guys think?
Like, I don't think
like
so.
What you
I think finally, like, well, I feel like what Ray said is that there's so many other possibilities in this world. Like, they're gonna actually want to like contribute to society in other ways. I feel like it pushes them to go do something more in that respect.
But I think that's what you and James said about the reference in the beginning about the Fantastic Four, where 2 out of the 5 of them doesn't 2 out of the 5 of them could be heroes, and the others could just in the back line work about all the family.
I mean, they might go work at his agency.
Yeah,
and
like
different support roles
and everything. So like maybe Shoto, Natsu. Like I really want to see Natsu be more involved. Actually, do something.
What does he do? Right,
Yeah.
because I know that Ray's a teacher, and it makes sense that she's a teacher because she wants to help shape young minds because she did not have that growing up.
Right.
So that makes sense to me. So what does Natsu do? Like, is he just like a student? Or
He's a student in college.
Bumation. He's mad and he eats chips and watch TV.
And plus, hate his father. That's what else he does.
All Natsu knows is eat hot chip and be mad at dad.
Oh, Natsu is trying to be a doctor? Did not know that. Thank you for that.
Lit. I would love that. I would love to see that. That would be lit, and that would also make sense.
Yeah, because I knew that he was a student in college, but I did not remember what he was trying to be. But he's a doctor. All right, that's props to him. Maybe I wonder what field it may. Imagine like a doctor in psychology or in quirks. That'd be very interesting because that would be fascinating if it's a quirks.
Maybe a mental health professional. That would be interesting.
Yeah, because that would be interesting. If it was psychology, that would be interesting. If it was quirks as well, because remember how he hated how they were born to create because of to be a hero. So maybe he's a doctor just to know about the quirk evolution, how those quirks work. That would be fascinating as well.
I mean, not even just that. It's just that to know that basically test tube babies are not supposed to be a thing. Like you don't force creation of quirk children. That's bad. It's very bad. Don't do that. So, all Natsu know is dragons and saving love. Check it. Shut up, John.
And we're just happy though. Imagine if they had a dog and just call it Happy. Oh my god, that'd be 2 on the nose.
I don't like this.
I don't like
nah.
it either.
There's no power of friendship saving this situation.
Yeah, at all.
Not at all. Oh man.
This was-
So I mean, do we have any actual predictions on what we're gonna get next? Because oh no, we've seen Horikoshi
So-
where it's like maybe he'll give us a break, and no, he just hits the gas again, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
So my prediction, I guess, if you want to call it my prediction, is we're gonna get some conversation with Hawks because remember at the panel we saw Hawks and Best Genius, and we know Hori doesn't like to use useless panels. There's panels there for a reason. So my assumption is that we have Hawks and Best Genius join into the conversation and say, hey, you guys need to come out and make a statement, and not just Endeavor, the whole family. You guys need to talk about what's going on. How public you want to be is up to you guys. I feel like that's very important, and I feel like that's gonna be the next chapter involving like part 3, but with Hawks and Best Genius, since Hawks is part of that family because of Endeavor influence him. That's my assumption.
I can
for
see that.
me, throughout the entire like past couple of chapters, so like literally the past couple of months now, I feel it's like a rare condition this day and age to read any good news from My Hero Academia right now.
Fair enough.
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. Ray James.
I think what I'm hoping is that they really do kind of push the all right, what's our next move? This is what we need to do. The public has to be addressed, and then after we get that, they address the public, and then we go back into the other micro stories of what's happening to everybody else, like Bakugo, Mirio, Deku, and them. Like what's happening? Because I mean, honestly, I don't want to see Deku for a while. He's still in the coma. That's cool. You need to take a nap, boy. Sleep for a while. And so while we figure out everything else, but I really want to get back to Shigaraki. I want to get back to All for One and Shigaraki and what the hell's happening there. What's he doing with that body right now? I really want that. Like I want to know what's happening there. I want to see what's up with Stain. Don't you dare show me Stain and then not show him again for a long time. Where the hell is Toga? What's Toga doing? I want to know where she is. Like I gotta see what's happening. What happened with the doctor? What's going on there? Like there's a lot of stuff that I need answered, and I feel like we're gonna get it. It's just not fast enough for me.
James.
I echo everything Ray just said. As far as next chapter, like you guys already alluded to, I hope this is where Hawks comes in and be like, yeah, don't mean to interrupt the family moment, but it's time. Like you have to make a statement. We have to figure out what to do next. And like I was saying before, I kind of hope that we get just a couple more chapters that just focuses completely on the Todoroki family. But again, like what Ray said, like after that, these are all the things that I want. We need to get back to Mirio. I need to see Eri go visit Deku. I need to know like what Baku's going to say to Deku, what All Might is going to say to Deku, what his mom is going to say. Like there's so much. There's so many things.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but the next couple of chapters, I just need more of the Todoroki family. I need more of that.
Hopefully, as days go by, it's the bigger love of the family.
What I'm saying is like, yeah, why does Todoroki stuff?
You had to say him. You had to.
I had to.
We'll pop a few Coronas and it'll be fine.
And just put in a Mustang or Camaro right there.
I will say that while this whole Todoroki thing's been said, the conversation between Deku's mom and All Might actually make me cry.
Yeah, bro.
Like legitimately. So I'm not looking forward to that.
And you failed.
I am not looking forward to this. So yeah,
I'm not ready. Not ready.
Just to answer the one last thing I saw there, I understand what you mean, Ali, but we do not think Endeavor may die soon. If he does die,
he's willing to sacrifice himself to do one last thing to save Toya. I could see it, but again,
at the moment, I don't. Because Dabi said himself,
both ways of if they're able to save Toya or if they're not able to save Toya. I can see it both ways of whatever they're going to try to do. Of what I trust Horikoshi, like I trust him on the, behind the wheels, even though like he's been giving us
the wheels
accidents every single chapters right now. Like it hurts. This hurts. We got hurt. Anything can happen, honestly.
Y'all leave Eri alone. Eri is she is useful, and she is a character who's been characterized and saved by these people. All right. Just because her power seems plot divisive, I mean, and it doesn't mean that she can't be useful and likable because she is. She's adorable. When she smiled, my whole heart melted. Leave her alone.
That's true. That's very true. And if you guys want to see Ray smiling back then, just check out his My Hero reaction from season 4. Definitely check that out.
Mm-hmm. When she heard that song, "You Could Be a Hero Too," that's when she made her choice, and it hurt. Don't talk about Eri. I'll fight all y'all. I love that kid.
But are we all good for this whole discussion of this chapter?
Yes, I'm tired of being traumatized.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy this conversation of My Hero Chapter 302, and definitely tune in for our Black Clover later on in a bit, and definitely check out our podcast as well that we have every Thursday night, and definitely on Friday nights for me and James and our guests that we have week to week on villains, and definitely come back for Chapter 303 and so on for every My Hero manga discussion week to week. Other than that, see you guys on the next one.
Peace.